Welcome back to the Bo channel, and today we're going to talk a little story about Uncle Ray. A story about a guy I heard growing up. My mom knew when she was a kid. My grandparents were very racist, extremely racist. That back then everybody was racist, and I'm not trying to excuse it. I'm just saying white people were extremely racist back then, and pretty much everybody was. So my mother rebelled against that and would go out and make friends on purpose, black friends on purpose. But she was a street kid, and she's in San Francisco. She protested the Vietnam War and married 3 different Vietnam veterans. She's still married to a Vietnam veteran now. That's another funny joy, because the first guy, my father, did his time in the Navy, learned a trade, got out, worked the trade. That didn't work out. She got with another guy. He was also a Navy Vietnam veteran, and it didn't work out. She moved on, dated, whatever. We moved to California. She went on a blind date with a guy in the Navy, and it became a big joke. Your favorite pickup line is, "Hey sailor, new in town?" And my dad always says, "Yeah, but she stuck with me because I was a Marine first." He did 6 years in the Marines before 18 in the Navy. But back to Ray. She's protesting the war. She's doing this, she's doing that. She makes a good friend that was born in Jamaica, Vietnam veteran, Marine Corps, and he was born in Jamaica. So this is important because back then, Jamaica was owned by the English, Great Britain. So because he was born in Jamaica, they actually had him registered as a Caucasian. When she found this out, she started calling him Honky. And so they would call each other racial slurs back and forth. Now, he was calling her the black racial slurs. Tenderloin, San Francisco, 1972, they're walking down the street. He's calling her all the black racial slurs. She's calling him all the white racial slurs. And everybody's looking at them like they're crazy, you know. What are you doing? Stop that. Whatever. They thought it was hilarious. Some years go by, and she goes back. She's with my father, and they go to San Francisco, and they find out where Ray is. And she's going up to the people at the door saying, "Is Ray in there? Is Ray in there? Tell that bald honky son bitch to get his ass out here." Well, excuse me, miss, do you really know Ray? "Yeah, I know Ray. Tell him to get his bald honky ass out here." He heard this and come out and give her a big hug, waving around like a rag doll. And my father's chin just hits the ground. Oh my God, this story is true. Well, they go inside and they're chilling, and my mother calls somebody the N-word. She's pissed off at this white dude that walked around talking like he was a pimp named Slickback. A pimp named Slickback. Words are hard today. So, Ray defends her because he knows she would never call a black person by that name. And you know, but there's a guy telling her you shouldn't be calling people that. You shouldn't be using that word. And right after he said that, this white pimp named Slickback comes around the corner, and they see, and all of them look at him and go, "Yep, he's an N-word." Anyhow, this was a different time. I didn't hear this story censored ever. My mom didn't censor it. She's gonna say it. She's gonna say it, and I always learned context. You don't say racial slurs. You don't use them against other people. It wasn't that you don't say them. You don't say racial slurs against people. I mean, it was fun going back and forth, doing the flip-flop thing down First Avenue. Me and Mary would go down First Avenue. She loved this story, so she wanted to do it too. So she'd call me all the black racial slurs, and I'd call her all the white racial slurs. And sure enough, people would look like, what is wrong with you two? We were just entertaining ourselves. We didn't care what other people thought. And yeah, not trying to make excuses. I am trying to be a better ally, but at the same time, we do need to get a sense of humor a little bit, all the way around. I got to work on me, and I never used racial slurs in a derogatory sense, but I got a little too comfortable with the N-word, and I can't quote Dave Chappelle. That was a good one where he was told he couldn't use the word faggot because he's not gay. And he says, well, I'm not a N-word either. So this is a little bit of a confession and a fun story, but I'm trying, do better. I actually know an awful lot of history about, a black America, and it's not pretty. So a lot of it is, but not a lot of it isn't. And it's always us white folks being the assholes. So we got to work on this redneck community and these dog whistles that have been used. That's not the only ones. They're still, the way I was brought up, I heard dog whistles growing up, and it wasn't perfect. We got to work on each other. We got to grow to be better people. But anyhow, it's just a fun story. Happy first of the year. God bless everybody.